Hello viewers, we were discussing about the systematic qualitative analysis of organic compound. In this series we have discussed about the preliminary test of organic compounds. What should be the preliminary test? We have discussed already in previous lecture part 1, and we have already discussed about the extra element detection in the given organic compound. We have discussed some function group also. In today's lecture let us continue with the test for amines. How can you detect amines function group in the given organic compound? As far as solubility is concerned, amines are organic compound which are basic in nature. You know why these are basic in nature, because amines are the derivative of ammonia, and in the nitrogen there is a lone pair of electron, due to which they behave as a base. So they dissolve in mineral acid. You know what are mineral acid? These are HCl, hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, H2SO4, and HNA through nitric acid. So you can see the reaction how there is an example aromatic amine C6H5NH2, that is aniline. When reacts with HCl it will give a salt. If it is soluble in mineral acid, then we can say that the given organic compound may be amine. Another preliminary test which you can confirm that amines are there or not is the litmus test. What is that? You have to take the solution of given organic compound, that a particular amine, and if it turns red litmus paper blue, it means there is a possibility of amines in the given organic compound. But of course this is not a confirmatory test. You can see the reaction also. Ethyl amine when reacts with when this solution turns red litmus paper into blue, due to OH ion in this solution, due to alkaline nature of the amines. So please note this point, this is not a confirmatory test, but of course it will gives you an idea that the given organic compound may be amines or not. Here is the test from which you can confirm the presence of amines in the organic compound, and the same time you can differentiate whether the given amine is primary, secondary or tertiary. Amines can be divided into three categories: primary, secondary and tertiary. How can you distinguish, how can you divide amines into three categories? If in the ammonia one hydrogen has been replaced by alkyl, aryl or substituted alkyl or aryl group, it will be primary. When two hydrogen are replaced, secondary, and when three hydrogen are replaced, it will be tertiary. So how can you distinguish? With the help of nitrous acid. What is nitrous acid? It is nothing, it is a HNO2. The formula of nitrous acid is HNO2, but you have to prepare this nitrous acid within the reaction condition. It is called in situ preparation, INA-SITU, in situ preparation. How can you prepare? You have to take sodium nitrite, NaNO2, along with that you have to take HCl, hydrochloric acid. So let us proceed. An aromatic primary amine reacts with nitrous acid, forms a diazonium salts, and at high temperature the formed diazonium compounds, being unstable at high temperature, undergoes decomposition. So whenever you want to perform this reaction, please take this note, you have to maintain the temperature of the reaction 0 to 5 degrees Celsius with the ice cold water. So here is the reaction. When you can see the example is in the slide. Aniline when reacts with nitrous acid, it will gives you diazonium chloride. Primary aliphatic amines react with nitrous acid to give nitrogen gas, which is seen as a bubbles. You can see the reaction RNH2, it is nothing but a primary aliphatic amine. You can see one of the hydrogen of ammonia has been replaced by R group, that is alkyl group, and you will get ROH. It can be any alcohol depending upon the R group, water molecule along with the nitrogen gas, which is evolved from the test tube or in a beaker as a bubble. Secondary amines react with nitrous acid to form a yellow oily nitrosamine. Here is the reaction. R2NH means two of the hydrogen of ammonia has been replaced by R group. When it reacts with nitrous acid, it will give you R2NNO, nitroso compound, which is oily in nature, yellow oily liquid, right? So you can distinguish between primary amine and secondary amine. In primary amine, nitrogen gas will involved, while in secondary amines yellow oily liquid will be there. Now the turn is for tertiary amines. Tertiary amines when react with nitrous acid, it will form soluble nitrite salts. What should be the reaction? You can see in the next reaction R3N, that is tertiary amines. All the 3 hydrogens of ammonia has been replaced by R, so it will be R3N and it will be give you salts R3NH positive NO2 minus. Nitrosamines are highly carcinogenic substance, so be very careful while performing this test. Another confirmatory test for the amines are azo dye preparation, and this test is given by aromatic amines. Aromatic amines forms a diazonium salts we have seen in the previous slide, and further you can confirm with the preparation of azo dye. How can you do that? Diazo compounds when coupled with phenols like beta naphthol forms an orange azo dye which is insoluble in water. So here is the reaction. You can see first of all C6H5NH2, that it is a aniline, when reacts with HONO yani HNO2 nitrous acid. Again in the reaction it is written HNO2, but while performing the practicals you need to take NaNO2 along with HCl. 0 to 5 degrees Celsius the temperature you have to maintain, and first of all you need to prepare benzene diazonium chloride. Thereafter you need to add beta naphthol, right? You can see the structure of beta naphthol, right? And you have to add the dilute NaOH. So you will get a coupled compound, that is 1-phenylazo-2-naphthol, which is orange in color, and significant color will immediately tell you whether the amine is there or not. How can you perform this test? For the preparation of azo dye, you have to take the given organic compound in a boiling tube, or you can take in a small beaker also. Dissolve this given organic compound in HCl. The HCl should be 2 normality, and cool this solution to 0 to 5 degrees Celsius. That is, you have to maintain the temperature. 0 degrees missing over here. Please note that 0 to 5 degrees Celsius. Then add cooled 10% aqueous NaNO2 and cooled alkaline solution of beta naphthol to the solution mixture. There will be a immediate brilliant scarlet red dye will develop, that will indicate that there is a amine compound in the given organic compound. Another test you can do for the confirmation of amines, as well as you can differentiate whether the amines are primary, secondary or tertiary, that is a Hinsberg test. And the reagent for this particular test is nothing but benzene sulfonyl chloride. Amines react with benzene sulfonyl chloride in the alkaline medium, so you have to maintain the medium alkaline. Primary amines react with benzene sulfonyl chloride to produce first of all substituted sulfonamide, which contains an acidic hydrogen and will dissolve in basic medium. So here you can see how the primary amine react with benzene sulfonyl chloride, right? First of all you can see N-alkyl benzene sulfonamide will prepare, which is actually soluble in aqueous NaOH. It means you need to add over here, after benzene sulfonyl chloride you need to add sodium hydroxide, and after addition of sodium hydroxide in this reaction mixture you will get sulfonamide salt of sodium. So this is how a primary amine react with benzene sulfonyl chloride under the head Hinsberg test. Now the term secondary amine, how it will react with benzene sulfonamide? It forms a substituted sulfonamide which is insoluble in alkali because it does not have acidic hydrogen, right? So it will prepare you N-dialkyl benzene sulfonamide, and when you add NaOH, the secondary amine will not react to it because of the absence of hydrogen. So you will get a precipitate while addition of NaOH. This is how you can distinguish whether the amine is primary or secondary. Now the term is for tertiary amine. A tertiary amine forms a substituted sulfonamide which is insoluble in alkali because it does not have any acidic hydrogen. So here is the reaction. You can see first of all what will happen in this reaction. You will get salt of benzene sulfonic acid which is actually insoluble in NaOH but soluble in aqueous HCl. Because why it is soluble in HCl? Do not forget that amines are basic in nature, and when they react with mineral acid it will form a salt. So you will get a solution ultimately. So this is how you can differentiate and can confirm the presence of amine in the given organic compound with the help of nitrous acid test, with the help of Hinsberg test. Now the test for amides. What are amides? These are nothing. These are the derivative of acid. Ammonia derivative of acid. Right? What will be the formula of amides? RCONH2. R can be, it can be alkyl, it can be aryl, it can be substituted alkyl or aryl or a complex moiety sometimes. So how can you confirm the presence of amides in the given organic compound? As you know, all the derivatives of carboxylic acid on hydrolysis will in return give carboxylic acid, right? So how can you confirm, how can you start the analysis of amides? You have to bring a moist red litmus paper over the mouth of test tube. Which test tube? In which you are taking the solution of amide, because you have already done the preliminary test where I told you about the solubility, that before performing the confirmatory test you have to see the solubility of the given organic compound, whether it is soluble in water, in alcohol, in acid or base. So here I don't want to mention, but you need to remember it always when we are saying that you have to bring a moist red litmus paper over the mouth of test tube, means you are taking the solution of amide and immediately you have to bring a litmus paper. Otherwise the gases will release and you will not get the appropriate test. So please be careful over here. You have to prepare a solution and immediately you have to bring a litmus paper to see whether there is a presence of amide or not. Now what should be there if amide groups are there? Red litmus paper will turns blue. If it is there, if this kind of observation you will observe in this test, the amide group confirmed in the given organic compound. Another test you can see, dip a glass rod in the concentrated HCl and hold this over the mouth of test tube. Again you have to perform this test quickly in another test tube. Take a pinch of a given organic compound, make a solution of it, whether it is in water or in alcohol, and then immediately bring a glass rod which is dipped in concentrated HCl. So if dense white fumes of ammonium chloride are evolved on the glass rod, there may be a possibility of presence of amide group. This is the test which is actually showing the application of amide hydrolysis. Basic hydrolysis means you are taking the NaOH for the hydrolysis of amide. You can see the hydrolysis of carboxylic acid can be of two types. It can be acid catalyzed, means you are doing the hydrolysis with the help of mineral acid, preferably HCl or H2SO4. And base catalyzed means you are taking the dilute solution of sodium hydroxide, right? So you can do the hydrolysis in both ways, for amide or for all the derivative of carboxylic acid. I want to recall you what are the other derivatives of acid. These are acid chloride, these are ester, these are anhydrides, but here we are talking about amide. So basic hydrolysis is difficult in comparison to analogous acid catalyzer reaction. Why it is so? Because amide ion is a very poor leaving group. If you can recall, you must remember that carboxylic acid or their derivatives or all the derivatives of carboxylic acid will undergo preferably nucleophilic substitution reaction. Means what will happen over there? That one of the nucleophile or the attacking nucleophile will replace the previous or already present nucleophile in the organic compound. So we have, at the same time, we have to see when we are checking the the nucleophilicity of nucleophile, we have to see the leaving ability of the leaving group. And here no doubt you can see what will happen on the hydrolysis. Simply you can see an amide will convert to carboxylic acid. So what is the leaving group? Here is the NH2 group. But here you can say amide is a very poor leaving group. So the basic hydrolysis is difficult. So we need to take the assistance of acid. What acid will does? If you remember, you can recall that the acid provide proton which is actually forming a oxonium ion on the carbonyl oxygen. Means it will assist the hydrolysis of amide and will produce carboxylic acid quickly, and the feasibility of the reaction will be the higher, right. In biological chemistry, amide hydrolysis is very common. So here you can see the third test of amide. You have to take the given organic compound in a test tube. I will repeat this sentence again and again, in this test tube or in the small beaker. Please be very careful while taking the compound. It should be small in amount, do not take much of the amount, otherwise your reaction will not so significantly as you are expecting. What you need to do over here, you need to add the 20% NaOH solution, then boil for 1-2 minutes. Evaluation of ammonia gas will confirm the presence of amide group in the given organic compound. Here are the two examples. You can see acetamide, that is CH3CONH2 and NaOH. Then what will happen? You will get the sodium acetate, and another reaction you can see N-methyl benzamide. When it react, it will give you sodium benzoate along with methylamine. So there will be a smell of ammonia. If you are not able to recognize what is the smell of ammonia, go to your lab and check the smell. First you can see what kind of a smell ammonia is having, and then you can perform this test and can do the comparison what should be the smell of ammonia. So this is how you can confirm the presence of amide. So this is a confirmatory test. The hydrolysis of amide will give you the carboxylic acid. Another test is here hydroxamic acid test. What you need to do, you need to take the given organic compound in a test tube and you need to add the hydroxylamine hydrochloride and then boil it. If there is a bluish red color, then aliphatic amide will confirm. What should be the reaction? You can see here when we are adding hydroxylamine, you will get a coordinated compound over here which is actually red in color. Nitrous acid test is also there. How can you add nitrous acid? Again, do not forget HNO2 we cannot add directly. We need to prepare in situ in the reaction condition only with the help of sodium nitrite and HCl. So what you need to do, you have to take the given organic compound in a test tube, then add dilute HCl 2-3 drops, then add sodium nitrite, and do not forget you have to maintain the temperature 0 to 5 degrees Celsius. It means you have to keep this reaction mixture in a ice cold water which can be in a beaker. So what will happen over there? Brisk effervescences due to the evaluation of nitrogen. So what should be the reaction? You can see. So amide RCONH2 will give you carboxylic acid along with the nitrogen. So you can also confirm the amide with this nitrous acid test. Now the test for anilide. What is the structure of anilide? You can see in the slide RCONH and there is a phenyl group also. So how can you perform this test? You have to take the given organic compound in a test tube. Please add 1 ml of concentrated HCl, boil for 2 minutes, then you have to cool it. Add 5 ml of distilled water. When we are asking that you need to add the water should be distilled, otherwise your reaction will get disturbed. A few drops of cold NaNO2 solution you need to add and mix it well. Add this solution to a cold solution of alkaline beta naphthol and you are preparing over here orange red dye which will confirm the presence of anilide group in the given organic compound. How can you perform this? Anilide on hydrolysis will give carboxylic acid and primary aromatic amine. Amines can be diazotized. We have discussed just few minutes back how can you diazotize amines with the help of nitrous acid. It is nothing but a mixture of sodium nitrite and hydrochloric acid which will produce nitrous acid. And amines can be diazotized to azo compounds. A dye can be prepared with the beta naphthol after coupling reaction. Take given organic compound in a boiling tube, dissolve it in 2NHCl with few drops of HCl. Cool this solution and then add 0 to 5 degrees Celsius, then add cooled 10% aqueous NaNO2 and cooled alkaline solution of beta naphthol. It is nothing but we have discussed this a few minutes back in the previous slide also. So, immediate brilliant scarlet red dye will form that will indicate the presence of anilide. Now, how can you perform the test for nitro group? What is nitro group or what are nitro compounds? Simply when NO2 group is attached to any alkyl group, any aryl group. So, again we can differentiate nitro compounds into three categories. Primary nitroalkanes, you can see the structure. Primary nitroalkanes, secondary nitroalkanes, tertiary nitroalkanes. And do not forget that NO2 group is an ambient group and it can attack through nitrogen also. How can you test for nitro group? First test is given in the Mulliken test. What is that? You have to take the given organic compound in a test tube, then add ethyl alcohol, add solid ammonium chloride, a pinch of zinc dust, boil for 5 minutes and filter it. And in the filtrate you need to add a Tollens reagent. If you remember, we have discussed in detail what is Tollens reagent, how can we prepare Tollens reagent. We have discussed this reagent while detecting the carbonyl compounds. It is nothing but silver ammonical nitrate. After addition of Tollens reagent to this filtrate, you will get either a black precipitate or grey precipitate that will confirm the presence of nitro compounds in the given organic compound. And here you can see the reaction. In the slide you can see the nitrobenzene C6H5NO2. First of all, you can see there is what is happening there. There is a reduction by zinc along with ammonium chloride, and what will you get? You will get N-phenyl hydroxylamine. This N-phenyl hydroxylamine, when reacts with Tollens reagent, that is AgNH3 whole twice OH, it is nothing but silver ammonical nitrate, and you will get, here is a mistake, it is will be aniline, right, along with silver. You can see 2Ag, this will be a grey precipitate that will indicate the presence of nitro compound. Ultimately, you are doing the oxidation of the nitrobenzene. Now, azo dye test, you have to take the given organic compound, a pinch tin metal, then concentrated HCl, boil it for 3 minutes, cool it, then filter it, then dilute it with water and few drops of cold solution of sodium nitrite. Add this solution to a cold solution of alkaline beta naphthol, a orange dye will prepare. So, this test we can also apply on the detection for the detection of nitro compound. You can see what will happen over here, nitrobenzene will give you aniline. So, how this aniline when diazotize with nitrous acid, it will give you benzene diazonium chloride. In the first reaction you can see, and this diazonium chloride on coupling with beta naphthol will give you orange red dye. So, this is the test you can perform for the detection of nitro compound. First of all, you need to convert the aniline into diazonium chloride, and this diazonium chloride on coupling reaction with beta naphthol will give a red orange dye. Hope you have understood. Thank you so much.